Andre van Graan says, what is IPC stance on Black economic empowerment?
What a creature. That's a terrible creature. We need to understand what happens at independence. And it's not only happening in Namibia, it has happened in South Africa as well. We found in Namibia at independence a compromise situation where the economic muscles lied with the previously advantaged. Whatever you want to call them now, that's what they used to be referred to. That was the economic elite. They had an advantage in that they had the assets, they had the capital, and they had the production. And then what we introduce is the political elites, the ministers, etc., and the administrators. They had one advantage. They were the controller of the government. They were controlling government, and they were also controlling government revenue. And then underneath them, we got these blue-collar chaps that came in. And below that, we got now, massively so in Namibia, the underclass, the unemployed. And then we've got the professionals down at the bottom, the non-governmental institutions, etc. Now, the power of the elite lied in the hands of the unemployed, the underclass, the people, the peasants, etc. Although we haven't got a classic definition of peasants in Namibia. Now, the capitals, the owners of capital, were only worried about how much taxation these political elites will do and whether they will be able to get the tenders. Now, what happened is that this grouping at the bottom here, the tenderpreneurs, were benefiting from the political elites. And they were being given the tenders, and then they would give a little bit, and then they come up. But they had no knowledge about economic development. It was in the knowledge of these people down here. And that's why a lot of the tenderpreneurs came up and dropped down. And a lot of them have been stuck because they needed to maintain a very good relationship with the political elites. And that's why a lot of people that were previously good with the political elites, they then went down completely because they were no longer getting the tenders. This concept of discriminating reverse apartheid, of so-called black economic empowerment, is something that is not entertained in the constitution of IPC. Because in the constitution of IPC, right in our principles is that we came together from different backgrounds and we treat each other as equal. It's time that Namibians look at each other not through the lens of the color of your skin, not through the lens of the historical advantage or disadvantage, but to look at each other meritoriously to say who is capable of producing when they are empowered, and not look at the skin color of the person. A lot of young Namibians, white and black, wants to be seen as equals in this country. This is their home. Namibia is all they know, and that is the Namibia that they want to develop. Any administration, any government, any political party that is going to be having a tendency of favoring previously advantaged black empowerment to do what? You need to empower all capable Namibians meritoriously to be able to look at each other as partners in developing this country, but not to have a government that's got some form of discriminatory segregation in empowering people to say, we'll empower this grouping and then this grouping. No, we should be looking at empowering everybody else. Yes, there will be people who are a little bit advantageous than the others because of exposure and experience. Yes, that happens in a classroom. You may be giving a lesson on geography. Some of them will come out absolutely superb. The others will come out asking the questions. Yes. Some need a little bit of a push of a hand to get there. The government should be able to create an environment in which we can empower our people, but assist it. We have got farms that we have given to the people. So-called empowering these people, resettling these people. But these people, we haven't given them the tools to be able to manage this farm. Yeah. And as a consequence of that, a lot of places that has been productive has been given under the pretext of resettlement and black empowerment, etc. And they fall into pieces. And that has got a detrimental consequence on the growth of the economy itself. If we are going to do anything in order to recognize people's deficiencies, we need to give them the tools that will allow them not only to be being assisted, but for them to grow in becoming recognized members of an economic growth of our nation. We cannot be entertaining reverse apartheid, and we don't do that in IPC.
Wonderful.